Welcome back to another episode. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe, keep up to date with what I'm trying to put out to you guys. So crew, I want to talk to you about last weekend. Last weekend I actually travelled to Tumut, which is near the Snowy Mountains, and competed in the Offgrid Throwdown. So that is hosted every year by Luke McMahon and Casey Atkins in Tumut. And one thing that's really, so I've done it the last 3 years in a row. One big thing that has come to light over the last couple of years is that the first day or one of the days is always off grid, so it's not inside an affiliate or inside a building or anything like that. So this year I'm just going to talk through some of the workouts that we did. It was super fun. The competition level is increasing every year. So the last 2 years, my partners and I, who I partnered up with, have made it onto the podium. However, this year was our first year of not placing onto a podium, which is totally cool because the level of competition for the females especially, it's just like next level. So the girls who were on the teams above us and stuff, they were amazing, super amazing athletes, and it was cool to watch how awesome they were doing, like in each of the workouts. So the first workout was called Hey Jude. It started off with 20 synchro burpees over hay bales, followed by a 2 kilometer trail run, followed by 20 synchro burpees over hay bales. Now there was an 18-minute time cap on this workout as well. With the synchro burpees over the hay bales, it really scratched up our legs quite a bit. Also, throughout day one of competition, it actually rained like a lot. It rained a lot, okay? I mean, it added to the whole dynamics of the thing, added to the experience, it added to the elements of doing it outside, not being in your comfort zone within a facility. When we did that actual 2K trail run, my partner and I, Jade, we started the run, and usually I'm actually a fairly confident runner. I don't have a problem with running. We finished the 20 synchro burpees and we headed off on our run, and literally we hadn't even got maybe 30 meters or so away from the hay bales, and I was struggling to breathe, like struggling. I just remember in my head as we'd crossed over this little creek to go up the hill. So it started off with a very steep incline up to the top of the hill, and then it was back down. When we were running on that uphill part, I just literally remember in my head, I was like, why am I struggling with this? Why am I struggling with this? And then my partner, God bless her, she's so amazing, so fit. She actually put her hand on my back, and while she said she wasn't helping me, I was like, I'm glad that she had it there, because it was making me move and making me have to keep going. And it was super slippery, like it was muddy. We were having to go off the trail into the grass because we couldn't maintain our footing on the actual trail. And then once we reached the top, we actually ended up overtaking all the teams in our heat, except for the team who came first. And we made it back down the mountain, back out, and we got into our synchro burpees. We actually finished second in our heat. Now in that event, we actually finished, I think, 8th overall, which wasn't too bad of a finish. Now, the next two workouts, they were supposed to have barbell stuff and toes bar and stuff in it. However, due to the rain, they actually had to change the workout. So it became a 15-minute Amrap. Now, this was probably one of my favorite events of the weekend, which is weird for me to say because it was heavy. It was heavy, and it's definitely not things that are in my element at all. So it was a 15-minute Amrap. Share the reps however you like. You had to do 50 single arm overhead dumbbell squats at 15 kilos, then 50 dead ball, so heavy sandbag front squats, hugging the dead ball to your chest. Then you had to do 50 sandbags over your shoulder. I knew that having the sandbags sitting out in the rain, so they had gotten wet that day, so they were heavy. So we were supposed to do 100 pounds, which is about 45 kilos. I would have said that they were probably around 55 kilos with the moisture that was in them, okay? I knew I was going to struggle on that, so I don't struggle on dumbbell overhead squats, so I actually did 50 dumbbell overhead squats unbroken because I knew that Jade would have to do a lot more work on the squats and the sandbag cleans. Now, we actually won our heat, so we did pretty well. Overall, we came 4th in that event. When it got to the sandbag front squats, Jade did 25 straight up, and then I believe I did 10, and she finished off with 15. So I only did 10 of those in the first round. Then when we got to the sandbag cleans, she was doing, I think, 4 reps and I was doing 2 reps. So, which was really good. We worked really well together. while she did pick up a lot of the slack on the sandbag squats and the sandbag cleans, obviously I made it up on the dumbbell overhead squats. We did make it into the second round. We finished all of our dumbbell overhead squats, and we finished, I'm pretty sure that we finished all of our sandbag squats, or maybe we got like 35. I think we got 35 in total. However, my favorite event, because I think it just surprised me with how well we did. Now, when we got, this is day 2, so we got to day 2, and at this stage we were sitting 5th on the leaderboard after the first 2 events, which was pretty good considering the competition that was there that weekend. Now, event 4, so it was pick your poison. So there was two parts of the workout. Athlete A had to do one part, athlete B had to do the second part as soon as they finished. Athlete 1, so it starts off with 25 single arm dumbbell thrusters, 25 single arm dumbbell snatches. They didn't have to be alternating at all, and there are 15 kilos. So it was 2 rounds of that for athlete A, and then once athlete A finishes, athlete B goes into 1 round of 50 single arm dumbbell thrusters, 1 round of 50 single arm dumbbell snatches. Time cap of 12 minutes. We did finish that workout, however I really did feel I let down Jade and I in that workout. I really struggled on the second set of dumbbell snatches. I was struggling to lock up my elbows. It was also miscommunication with her. She was saying something to do with hips, and I'm like, I am doing something. I am opening my hips, but she actually meant for me to power snatch it. I was like muscle snatching that dumbbell, so I was having to like press it out, which was really fatiguing my triceps heaps. Then once Jade finished, she really like smashed through it. She'd get a couple of no reps on her dumbbell snatches for not opening up her arm and locking out her arm properly. However, we did end up finishing that workout. If we were to do it again, I would probably, even though I would struggle on the 50 unbroken, I think that Jade would have been better to start the workout, because she would have went a lot harder and got us a bigger lead, and then I would have had a little bit of leeway time and a little bit of push at the end. And it would have also allowed me to have a little bit of a break between thrusters, going from thrusters straight into snatches, and I could have been able to pick up a little bit of time there. However, not a bad finish overall. Then event 5, so this one I really struggled with. It was just the handstand walks. The handstand walks in this workout really shocked me, because we had to do 5 meters unbroken. I don't really practice them very much anymore, so I wasn't really prepared for that movement at all. So it was called 4 in a row. It was for max calories, okay? So it was every 3 minutes for 4 rounds. So you had a 3-minute window to do a certain amount of work and gain calories, and then you rested 1 minute, and then we did it 4 times through. So it was 20-meter handstand walk. You could share it, but you had to do 5-meter increments unbroken for it to count. So if you came down at 2 meters, then you also had to go back to the start of the handstand walk and walk that section again. And that actually happened to me a couple of times. So then Jade and I sort of started working through it, and she started taking a lot more of the handstand walks, and I only did a couple of lengths in total. Then it went into 60 double unders. Now these could be shared at any way you liked. Jade did 1 round of double unders, however the mats are really weird. However, I did the other 3 rounds of double unders because I was quite confident with them. It was fine. I didn't trip up any or make any mistakes with the double unders. But I was struggling on those handstand walks, so she needed to be fresh because we didn't want to waste time from someone being on double unders and then having to get onto the rower. So I finished our 20-meter handstand walk each time, did our 60 double unders, and then Jade was always ready sitting on the rower, except for that 1 round where she did double unders and I was on the rower. However, we actually did pretty well in that event. I'm pretty sure that we won our heat again. We didn't win our heat. We actually did pretty well in that event, and it was quite fun, and Jade's handstand walks have come like a long way. That was so good. I was super impressed with how well she was able to maintain that handstand walk, especially under fatigue. Then the final workouts, so event 6 and 7, so it would have been 6 and 7 if we had the original 2 out on the first day. We only had 1, so it was 5 and 6, I guess. So the Tin Man was the next one, so it was for max load. It was a complex, so we only had 7 minutes for both of us to do the lifts. The complex was 3 deadlifts, 3 hang cleans, 3 shoulder to overhead. You couldn't break in between at any stage. Also, If you stuffed up your shoulder to overhead on the, say the second rep, that's the end of the complex. You didn't get to just try and like re-rack it and then try again. Now you only had 3 attempts. So like I said, if you stuffed up that second overhead, shoulder to overhead, then that's immediately your attempt. Even if you picked up the barbell off the ground, and I saw a couple of people that went to do their second hang clean that fell out of their hands, that was it. That was the end of the rep for them. So I actually ended up on 57.5 kilos, and Jade, she got 72.5, I think, or 70 kilos. I can't really remember off the top of my head. However, it was pretty cool to see Jade's last split jerk actually on her shoulder to overhead for her final lift. Her knee was so close to the ground. I actually didn't think that she was going to stand it up, but she did get it up, which was really cool. We both also missed our second attempts. So both of us failed our final shoulder to overhead on the second attempt of the complex. So I tried 60, she tried 70, I believe, or 72.5 on the second one. And then we both missed our final lifts on those, and then we had again, I dropped back in weight and she stayed the same weight. So as soon as the complex, so you had 0 to 7 minutes. So you had 7 minutes to finish that. 3, 2, 1, end of 7 minutes, you went straight into the last part. This was a super fun workout. Jade and I actually did really well on this one as well. So it was for time, 80 calories on the bike erg, followed by 30 squat snatches at 40 kilos. Jade and I, we actually won our heat getting off the bike erg. So before the actual comp started, the event started, we'd spoken about how to run through this workout, and we decided, so Jade had done something similar before in another competition, and we were just going to do quick interval sprints, like literally, like if our calories per hour dropped on our bike, it was time to get off. So we were literally only on the bike for maybe 10 seconds at a time, 10, 10, 10, and then we were literally just jumping off. So I think in each window, the max amount of calories that she did at the start was when I was loading the bar. And then after that, we were doing maybe 8 to 10 calories each, and we're just jumping off the bike, maybe even less. I think we dropped down to like maybe 6 or 7 calories each time. However, by us changing so fast and being able to maintain such a high pace, we were actually able to get off that bike super fast, and it gave us a good lead on the other teams before hitting those squat snatches. When we hit the squat snatches, we both failed our first lifts, and Jade ended up doing a lot more reps on that. So I think she was doing like 3 or 4 touch and go, and I was doing like 2 or 3 singles. So that weight for me is quite heavy, especially when I'm under fatigue, whereas for her, she's able to really easily move that barbell. So that was all the events of the weekend. Like I said, the first day was crazy weather, raining non-stop, but it just really added to the excitement. I mean, I probably complained 1,000 times. I'm pretty sure I did. However, everyone was in super high spirits. Everyone had a great time, and I really love hanging out with the Midnight crew. They are just epic, and catching up with everyone from Albury and stuff like that. Super fun. Caught up with a lot of people as well. And then previously on the second day, it was inside the hangar. That was cool just to be in that element and around people and stuff. I did actually speak to Luke McMahon regarding next year's competition. So his plan is to hold an off-site event each time, but he wants to have an open water swim. So not far from Tumut is a big huge dam called Blowering Dam.
Try and do an open water swim next year for 2023.
For 2023?
Yeah.
Are you going to demo it first?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
No, probably not. You just rock up and you just have to get in the water.
Let's get a demo first.
His plan is to have an open water swim with some obstacles, like could be a bike erg or sandbags or whatever on the bank, on the bank, and then you swim out to a certain point, come back in. And then hopefully next year we'll see a little bit more of, more competition coming. And like I said I am getting a little bit up in age, so I'm going to be turning 37 this year. I've had a couple of issues with a few niggly injuries and ongoing issues, so I'm hoping to get that fixed up. But I'm super excited. That comp got me really pumped up. I've got another comp coming up in April with one of my other friends who competed at Tumut as well, Bianca. Her and I are going to be partnering up for the Morph Mayhem comp, and that's always fun. I go to that every year as well. However, like I said, if you guys haven't been to one of these Australia Day Throwdown, well, it used to be called Australia Day Throwdown, now it's called Offgrid Throwdown. If you haven't been to one, seriously, you should get onto it. It's so much fun. Like, the atmosphere is electric. Luke and Casey put on an amazing show, and we get some big names in there. So people like Jack Clark was there, a lot of the Star Strength team, pretty much all of them. Christy Hollard was supposed to compete, second year in a row that the poor girl hasn't been able to come. This time due to COVID, last year due to rolling her ankle the day before. However, like I said, super fun, great comp, amazing. Judges were all really, really good. It was exceptional, and the prize money is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year, and I really think that Luke and that are going to take this comp to the next level. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in, crew. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe, share. Make sure you keep up to date with what I'm trying to put out there. Thanks, team.